In this video I'm going to talk about my symptoms that I had from very mild to my most severe. I've written them all down because I just can't remember them all. I wish I'd had something like this to compare myself to when I was searching for a diagnosis. Before I got my MAV diagnosis, I spent hours and hours and hours searching over the internet trying to find out what was wrong, trying to fit my symptoms to different conditions, and I couldn't. And it was only when MAV just popped up out of the blue. First of all, I didn't believe that I could have migraine associated vertigo because I didn't have migraines. And I thought, how can you? Surely you would know if you'd had migraines or not. I'd only had what I considered to be very bad headaches. I didn't really consider them to be migraines. So, like I said, I spent hours trying to find out what my diagnosis was, and once I had my diagnosis, I wish still that someone had written a long list of symptoms, because I really think it would have helped me and I wouldn't have felt so alone with it as well. So I'm going to read out these symptoms to you of what I've had and what is still continuing. I'm still dizzy 24/7. I still can't watch TV much. I still can't look on my phone much. I still can't leave my house. I haven't left my house for a long time. I can't walk anywhere. I can't do any physical exercise. I can't look at lights. But I'll read you my list anyway. It says, so I had dizziness, imbalance, disequilibrium, daily headaches, which I got later on into my illness when I was going through a really bad patch. I'd have mild tingling in my arms. I'd have tight band of pressure across my head, like it was being squeezed, followed by numbness in my face and under my chin. Sometimes I also get a funny taste in my mouth as well when my head gets tight. It feels like a kind of metallic taste in my mouth. My eyelid puffs up. I get tingling in my face, lips and arms before my headache gets worse. And that'll just knock my balance out completely. I'll be reasonably steady, and then having a bad headache like that will just knock me off completely. So whenever I get this tight band of pressure across my head, I feel sick as well. I have sensitivity to light. At my worst, I couldn't stand any light at all, which is why I've got sunglasses on my head, because very often throughout the day I'm putting them on, taking them off, because I can't stand the light sometimes. Especially sunlight, strobing lights or flashing lights, which makes me feel sick. I can't watch TV very much. I can't watch moving images. My eyes will be unfocused. I feel detached from everything, like I'm looking through someone else's glasses. I get brain fog where nothing's clear. Short-term memory is terrible, but I'm not sure if that's the tablets I'm on. But I get very tired as well. I always need a rest, and I get a lot of tightness across my head, which I've actually got right now because talking for too long will bring it on as well. Concentration is bad. I get, like I said, very tired, heaviness in limbs. Anxiety is terrible. When I get an attack of dizziness, or when something sets me off, my anxiety is awful. It's like a feeling in my chest, and it's horrible, and I can't get rid of it. And apparently that is a symptom of it too, because your migraines can affect your vestibular system and what controls your depression levels and your anxiety levels as well. So I've got panic attacks. They were quite bad for a while. Pain in my temple region. I get positional vertigo by looking up, down, or bending over was the worst. That used to set my migraines off terribly. I'd bend over and suddenly I'd just get completely unbalanced. Everything would rock and sway, and that would set me off, and it would often take me a good 2 or 3 weeks to get back to the same position I was before I had another attack. I can't lay down at all. I have not laid down in my bed for over a year. I sleep on the settee sitting upright because I can't lay down, because if I lay down it starts spinning and I can't sleep. Emotion intolerance. I can't go in the car. If I go in the car, it's terrible. I'm alright when I'm going on the journey, but when I get out, I start swaying and it's awful. It's better when I've got my eyes closed. I think it's seeing lots of things going past my field of vision really sets it off for me really badly. So I don't go in a car. I haven't left, like I say, I haven't ever left my house for a long time. I get migraine aura, so those are black dots in front of my eyes, grey spots, squiggles, what looks like smoke in front of my eyes, blurry vision, flashes of light. I get all those when I can feel a migraine coming on, or a migraine's going to come on. It's like a warning sign. I get squiggles and dots and all sorts come into my field of vision. Tinnitus. Now, I've had ringing in my ears since the beginning of this and it's never gone away. Luckily, it's not too bad. It only sort of really comes into my mind when I'm about to go off to sleep, because I can hear it, and when everything else is quiet. Pressure in my head, that's one of the worst things. I get like a pain in the back of my neck, right in the base of my skull, and I get a huge pressure in my head. It feels like a magnet is pulling in my skull out of my head. Sometimes it's very intense. It would really walk from one side to the other side in my worst times, to the point where I couldn't even lift my head off my pillow some days. Sometimes I couldn't even get to the toilet by myself. I couldn't dress myself. I couldn't talk to anybody. I still find it really hard. I can't see my friends because I can't have an intense conversation with anybody. If I talk too long, it sets it off. Everything seems to set it off. Yeah, shifting, what I can only describe as head shifts. If I look down or I turn too quickly, my whole field of vision just shifts across my eyesight, and then I know I need to sit down and stop what I'm doing. Yeah, everything looks warped at times. It will look like door frames will just look too warped and bendy, and the floor looks like it's sloping upwards and downwards. If I'm reading something, the words in sentences look like they're sloping downwards. I get staggered vision. If I look from one side to the other, my vision staggers across. So it doesn't just run smoothly like it normally would. What else? To be honest, there's lots of other things that I can't remember at the moment. But so basically, like I said, my worst time was when I spent 3.5 months in bed. I couldn't lift my head off the pillow. I couldn't do anything. My mum was taking care of my kids. My husband was taking care of me. They still do. I still can't have the kids on my own all day. It's just too much. My brain can't seem to catch up, basically. So that's all the symptoms, really, that I can think of. I think there's a few more, but I'll come back and tell you if I can remember any more. So, like I said at the beginning, I wish I'd had something to compare my symptoms to, because I didn't know what it was. There's not that much information about MAV out there. It seems to be quite unrecognised. There are a few good websites you can go to. Vertigo is one, and Dizzy Times is another. They're very supportive people. They will help you, and I did use those websites a lot up until I got really bad and I couldn't go on a computer or anything like that anymore. So this is my second video. This is my symptoms of MAV. My next video will be about treatment of MAV, neurotologists, and how I come to get to the doctor who basically just saved my life. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.